While the title Transform Your Body Fast might sound like a late-night fitness infomercial, the reality of human biology is that we can force rapid neurological and muscular adaptations if we choose the right movements. When you cross the half-century mark, your body's rules of engagement change. You cannot train like a 20-year-old, nor should you. Joint wear and tear, slowing metabolism, and a natural decline in muscle mass, sarcopenia, require a radically different approach. You need maximum return on investment, ROI, for the effort you put in with minimal risk of injury. Forget complex Olympic lifts, high-impact jumping, or spending 2 hours on 7 different machines. If you had to pick exactly one exercise to transform your body, build practical strength, burn fat, and reverse the clock on aging, there is an undisputed king. That exercise is the loaded carry, most commonly known as the farmer's walk. Below is a complete scientific and practical guide on why the farmer's walk is the ultimate over 50 exercise, the biomechanics behind it, and exactly how to implement it to transform your body. Chapter 1. The biological reality of aging and why you need this exercise. To understand why the farmer's walk is so uniquely transformative, you first need to understand what your body is fighting against as you age. If we do not actively fight these processes, our bodies default to a state of slow decay, sarcopenia. The silent muscle. Thief sarcopenia is the age-related loss of muscle mass, strength, and function. Starting in your 30s, you can lose up to 3% to 5% of your muscle mass per decade. After age 50, this rate accelerates. Muscle is highly metabolically active tissue. Losing it is the primary reason metabolisms slow down as we age. Less muscle means fewer calories burned at rest, which leads to middle-age weight gain, osteopenia, and osteoporosis. The bone density. Crisis as hormone profiles change, particularly the drop in estrogen for women during menopause, and the slow decline of testosterone in men. Bone mineral density decreases. Bones become more porous and fragile. The only way to stimulate bone growth and density is through mechanical loading, putting weight on the skeletal system. The decline of the posterior chain and core decades of sitting at desks, driving, and looking down at screens create what physical therapists call upper cross and lower cross syndromes. Shoulders round forward, the upper back weakens, the core becomes lax, and the glutes forget how to fire. This leads to chronic lower back pain, neck pain, and a higher risk of falls. Why traditional cardio and isolation exercises aren't enough. Walking on a treadmill is excellent for the heart, but it does virtually nothing to stop muscle or bone loss. Conversely, sitting on a machine doing bicep curls isolation exercises might build a small amount of muscle, but it doesn't teach your body how to move as a single coordinated unit. You need a compound, functional, weight-bearing movement. You need to pick up heavy things and walk. Chapter 2. The Big Reveal. The farmer's walk. The farmer's walk is elegantly simple. You pick up a heavy weight in each hand, stand perfectly tall, and walk a specific distance or for a specific amount of time. It is the most primal movement in human history. Long before barbells and ellipticals existed, our ancestors built robust, injury-proof bodies by carrying heavy loads, water, firewood, building materials, or hunted game over long distances. Why it's the fastest way to transform your body. When we talk about fast transformation, we are talking about neurological adaptation and systemic fatigue. Full body tension. The farmer's walk recruits nearly every muscle group in your body simultaneously. It is not an arm exercise, a leg exercise, or a back exercise. It is an everything exercise. This massive muscle recruitment triggers a higher hormonal response, testosterone and growth hormone, than isolation movements. High caloric burn. Because you are carrying a load while moving, your heart rate skyrockets. It acts as both heavy resistance training and intense cardiovascular conditioning. Low joint shear. Unlike heavy barbell back squats or deadlifts, which place massive shear forces on the lumbar spine and knees, the weights in a farmer's walk are held at your sides. The spine is axially loaded, compressed straight down, which is incredibly safe for the intervertebral discs when done with good posture. Chapter 3. The Science and Proven Benefits. The longevity predictor, grip strength. Multiple epidemiological studies, including a massive study published in The Lancet, have proven that grip strength is one of the single most accurate predictors of biological vitality and all-cause mortality in older adults. A weak grip correlates with a higher risk, of heart attacks, strokes, and fatal falls. The farmer's walk is unparalleled in building crushing grip strength and forearm density, effectively fortifying your body against premature aging. The ultimate core stabilizer. Stuart McGill, Ph.D., one of the world's leading experts in spine biomechanics, considers the farmer's walk one of the best exercises for core strength. When you walk with heavy weights, every step attempts to pull your spine out of alignment. Your deep core muscles, the transverse abdominis, obliques, and multifidus, must fire aggressively to keep your torso perfectly upright. It builds a corset of muscle that acts as an armor for your spine. Postural correction. To perform a farmer's walk correctly, you must pull your shoulders down and back, stick your chest out, and tuck your chin. By holding this position under load, you are actively reversing the hunched-over posture associated with aging. You strengthen the rhomboids, traps, and latissimus dorsi, bike. Ankle and hip stability. Falls are a leading cause of fatal and non-fatal injuries in older adults. The farmer's walk forces you to balance on one leg for a fraction of a second with every step you take under heavy load. This bulletproofs the ankles, knees, and hips, drastically improving balance and proprioception. Chapter 4. Form and Technique. A step-by-step masterclass. Performing the farmer's walk poorly will negate its benefits. Perfect form is non-negotiable, especially over 50. The setup equipment. You can use dumbbells, kettlebells, trap bars, hex bars, or specialized farmer's walk handles. Kettlebells and dumbbells are the most accessible for beginners. Placement. Place the weights on the floor on either side of you. The lift hinge, don't bend, stand between the weights. Push your hips back as if closing a car door with your glutes. Bend your knees slightly. Keep your chest up and your back perfectly flat. The grip. Grab the handles firmly. Place them deep in the palm of your hand, not just in your fingers. Squeeze the handles as if you are trying to crush them. This concept, known as irradiation, sends a signal to your nervous system to recruit more muscles up your arms and into your shoulders. The ascent. Drive through your heels, squeeze your glutes, and stand up straight. Do not round your back as you stand. The posture, the lock-in. Before you take a single step, establish your posture. Head. Neutral. Look straight ahead, not down at the floor. Shoulders. Roll them up, back, and down. Imagine trying to hold a tennis ball between your shoulder blades. Chest. Proud and elevated. Core. Brace your stomach as if you are anticipating a punch to the gut. Arms. Straight but not hyperextended. Your arms are merely hooks connecting the weight to your shoulders. The walk short, choppy steps. Do not take long, lunging strides. Take short, quick, deliberate steps. Heel to toe. Walk with a natural heel-to-toe foot strike. Breathing. Do not hold your breath. Take shallow, rhythmic breaths into your chest while keeping your abdominal wall braced. No waddle. Try not to sway side to side. Walk a perfectly straight line. The drop. When you reach your destination or your grip fails, do not just drop the weight sloppily. Stop walking, establish your stance, and hinge at the hips, just like the initial lift, to set the weights down with control. Chapter 5. Progressive Overload. How to Keep Adapting. If you pick up 15-pound dumbbells and walk 50 feet every day, your body will adapt within a week and stop changing. To transform your body, you must apply the principle of progressive overload, gradually making the exercise harder over time. With the farmer's walk, you have 3 variables you can manipulate. Load, weight. This is the most straightforward method. If you carried 30 lbs per hand last week, try carrying 35 lbs per hand this week for the same distance. Heavy loads, which you can only carry for 15 to 30 seconds, build massive strength and bone density. Distance, barsh, time. If you cannot increase the weight, increase the distance. If you carried 30 lbs for 40 yards last week, carry it for 50 yards this week. Lighter loads carried for longer distances, 60-90 seconds, build incredible muscular endurance, grip stamina, and cardiovascular health. Rest periods decrease the time you rest between walks. If you normally rest 90 seconds between carries, cut it down to 60 seconds. This drastically increases the metabolic demand and fat-burning potential of the exercise. Chapter 6. Variations to Prevent Plateaus. Once you master the standard farmer's walk, you can introduce variations to target different weaknesses and keep your routine engaging. The suitcase carry. Single arm carry. Carry a heavy weight in only one hand while walking. Your body will naturally want to lean toward the weight. Your oblique muscles and the opposite side of your core must fire intensely to keep your torso perfectly straight. Switch hands halfway. This is arguably the best anti-lateral flexion core exercise in existence. The rack carry. Hold kettlebells or dumbbells up at shoulder height, resting on your chest, outer shoulders. This forces the upper back and core to